Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Everyday Growth Advisors live stream. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, brought to you live 1 hour pre-market by yours truly. Once again, another beautiful day as we embark on a uncertain market. I have some quick breakdowns for you guys. As if you are here for the first time, just know that we are a stream partnered with Option Swing, which is a community of 800 plus active traders, where we train and we educate other traders on how to navigate the stock market, as well as provide signals and smart information. And this live stream is an initiative that I started not long ago to kind of help people to navigate pre-markets and kind of get you guys prepped for the day. So my job is to condense everything down for you. I do the heavy lifting, so you can sit back, relax, and enjoy, and then get on your day with trading and make some money together with everybody. So as usual, we have a standard procedure. We're going to go through the news, kind of break it down, see what's going. Is there anything that we need to be worried about? Over the weekend, we had some information about Buffett selling his stake in airlines. That was an interesting one. I bet you guys weren't expecting that. And so, I'm going to just cover the bases, what I see in the macroeconomic climates, and also anything that I see that is important. So we'll do Bloomberg first, and I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as possible and as accurately as possible so that we don't use up too much of the time. Also, remember, keep your questions posted in the comments so that I can get to them later. I will, do a couple of breakdowns. I know that the past few streams have been going over an hour. Because people have been asking to do a lot of chart breakdowns. So if I have the time, I want to keep these streams as much as possible between an hour so that YouTube doesn't take too long to upload them for you guys. So we're going to do that later as well. Okay, great. So let's get started here. So if you haven't already, by the way, subscribed and liked the stream, please go ahead and do that. The liking really helps me out a lot. YouTube's algorithm kind of recommends these videos to others, and I really appreciate all of you guys being here, by the way. Thank you. All right, so we have not much interesting news on Bloomberg today. It says equity markets futures drop with stocks. There is a lot of talk about how the Chinese, we have some conflict with China that Trump is kind of steering, which is causing a lot of uncertainty. And, this is, I think, the main concern of the market, or the reason why the market's selling off. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. And, it's at the same time, this uncertainty is coming when the amount of infections are starting to come down. You can see here, Trump slams China, Italy, Spain relax lockdowns, right? And then there's Trump had 2 intelligence briefings in virus in late January. Okay, so we don't know much about that. If this is your first time to this stream, remember that we only cover the news as an entertainment basis. We are never going to act on information that we get from news, because when the news breaks it, it's too late for us to act on the information. For example, over the weekend, news came out that Buffett sold his airline stocks. Well, look, the airline stocks are already down, right? In fact, American Airlines, Delta Airlines, United, and Southwest are all down to the tune of about 10%. Now, in this scenario, would you go ahead and short airline stocks when the market opens? You could, but is it a good risk to reward? I don't think so. So, you got to take your trades based on risk and reward, and, have that in the back of your head when you're taking these trades. There are many other tickers that you can go for that will provide you with a much better opportunity. In Wall Street Journal, the news is reporting that Florida is beginning to reopen after virus lockdown. And personally, I don't think that, these lifting of these lockdown measures are a good idea, simply because we don't have proof that this virus is, curable or treatable. And then we see the headline in Wall Street Journal saying global stocks fall on renewed U.S.-China tension. So there's a lot of, tension in the air. Trump said he wants to tax them to the tune of $1 trillion. He's been blaming them for the virus, this and that. So there's a lot of that going on, and it's stirring some fear. And we all know that when fear enters the market, it causes these irrational sell-offs. And then there's also a global factory output plunging with slow rebound projected. J. Crew files for bankruptcy protection. And then let's see, what else is there here? I don't see anything much else here. So, all right, for the news, we don't have much stuff. As I was saying earlier, pre-market movers: American Airlines, Delta Airlines, Carnival Corporation, CCL, that is a cruise line. So travel sector getting hit hard today. Southwest, United, all of them getting hit hard in the almost double-digit and huge volume trading pre-market. You can ignore all the ones that have low pricing. Those are usually, something that we will not take into account for pre-market simply because they can be manipulated. But I believe there are some biotech companies here, so that's kind of like one of the things that we don't cover. Biotechs are like buying lottery tickets, so I don't usually cover biotech. But I know people who are good at it, so if you're good at biotechs, like look, if you buy a biotech company, it goes boom, look at what happens, right? You get 150% returns overnight. Okay, so today we have, once again, a lot of companies reporting earnings, and we'll keep that in the watch, okay? Another thing that I wanted to show you guys is that the S&P 500 PE ratio is now estimated at 20.30. It's crazy how quickly we have recovered from the crash that we just had, a 30% drop followed by almost a 20 plus 26, 27% recovery very quickly. I have mentioned many times that this level over here would be a very hotly contested level, which actually came true. It was the level that was the 61.8 fib retracement, coinciding with the 150 and 200 moving average on the daily. Very strong resistance that we met before coming back down. I did mention the previous live stream that we would be testing the 50 and 23.6. We have just done that today. So these predictions so far are all coming spot on, and we'll see how it goes from here. We have obviously we can't keep dropping forever, so what I expect to happen next is perhaps a corrective wave. As we know, stocks never move up in a straight line or move down in a straight line. We always have these impulsive waves followed by corrective waves, impulsive waves, corrective waves, impulsive waves, and you can see them here, right? Impulsive, corrective, impulsive, corrective, right? Something like that. So the same thing happens on the downtrend, and we haven't got a proper corrective wave yet. So expect perhaps a nice corrective wave up to come near to the moving average, and then another impulsive wave down. So that's the bearish case. The bullish case would be, and you can see we're starting to make a higher low. This may be either to go up to touch this before coming down, or this could be the higher low for it to go up, make a higher high, come down, make a higher low, and then up again. So we'll have to see if the higher high appears, okay? And that will be how you will be keeping track of this. I would look at SPY on the 1 hour chart and keep track of it. If you're feeling frisky, you can do the 15-minute, but remember, this is going to make you feel very anxious. And if you like checking your screen every 10-15 minutes to see what's going on, then go ahead. If you want to freak out, go ahead. That's your prerogative. So with the PE ratio, what I was meant to mention with this is just to mention that during the 2008 financial crisis, PE ratio dropped to a very low value. A very high value. I'm sorry. When PE ratios are very high, that often means that we're approaching some kind of a risk, like a defining moment. Well, we're at 20.3 right now. You can see it's about the average. It's close to the mean, but not at the mean. The mean is about 15.78. So just to kind of give you a rough gauge, and the price to earnings ratio kind of does a good rough estimate. So another thing that I wanted to point out is, remember that the top 100 components of the NASDAQ and S&P 500 are made of the same companies. It's the same FANG companies, okay? And Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, these are the ones that make up SPY and NASDAQ. And just remember that, one of the key reasons why Buffett is not buying any equities right now, which I was reading up upon earlier, is the fact that equities are still overvalued, in my opinion, at least. And the simple thing to understand this is, in fact, he brought up a good point that the Fed actually acted very quickly to provide stimulus and inject cash into the system, right? But you have to remember that when the injection happens, let me just make sure that this stream is going good. Okay, just make sure that this is okay. Ooh, very laggy today. Very, very laggy. Okay, let's see if we can get this sorted out. Okay, so going back to what I was saying, when the Fed injects a whole bunch of liquidity into the system, they do so by moving a lot of bad debt, okay, to companies from companies to their balance sheet, okay, and this bad debt gets put into the balance sheet, and eventually, at some point of time, they will have to unload this debt back to society if these companies fail, right? Because if the money goes to them, the Fed can't give them money outright. What they do is they purchase the debt and give them money instead. So the debt ends up on the Fed's balance sheet, and then the companies get the money. Now, if that company fails, then that debt is on the balance sheet, and the only way that is offset is by increasing interest rates in the future. Okay, so right now interest rates are at an all-time low. Okay, and what this means for the economy is that liquidity and funding is very, very cheap. Okay, now what happens with this is a couple of things. When the amount of money in the system is more than what it was before, your purchasing power goes down. Okay, and we all know that. That's what we call inflation. Okay, and when inflation happens, that also in turn affects the valuation of stocks because it inflates the price of stocks. For a good example, you can see that majority of the companies that have sold off during the COVID-19 crisis are now back to their highs. One such company that did that was Shopify. Another one was Tesla. Amazon went back to all-time high. Apple is near all-time high. Microsoft is getting there, right? So the biggest weights in SPY are going to have a natural trajectory to achieve that target. However, nobody ever talks about the companies that are in the bottom of the pile, because what happens to those are, if they are not a good enough company that was able to suffice and get a loan and survive, then they get kicked out of the S&P 500 or they get kicked out of the NASDAQ, right? It's like Darwinism for the financial sector, right? Only the strongest survive. So just keep in mind, as we continue to print this money, there is going to be some implication for it in the future, but we don't know exactly what it's going to be because the Fed is the one to control that outcome. Okay, just know that it causes inflation and it causes you to have a lower purchasing power. So as even the dollar, which will be unstable for the next couple of years at least, is going to see a lot of instability, and that's the reason why companies like Apple, who do a lot of international business, will see a lot of FX issues with their swaps overseas, because even though they're selling to many other countries, they're primarily dealing with dollars, and when they do so, it's going to be an issue for them to convert those rates back to the dollar because of the very high price of the dollar right now. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. Let's kind of move to a little bit of technicals. I want to do SPY really quickly. As I said, there's a couple of ways this will go. I just want to recap what I said earlier. This has formed a support here at the 1523.6 level. This could go up before coming back down, or we could see just a bounce here before going back up all the way. So we'll see how this week's earnings play out. As I have always recommended through this past week and this week, I don't recommend swinging any positions. I recommend only day trading, getting in and out of your positions per day. Avoid, if you're a Robinhood user, and I'm sure that there are a lot of Robinhood users here who have only three day trades a week. Use those 3 day trades a week and don't overtrade. Do not take the risk of taking a position and swinging it overnight, because right now every single thing is uncertain. Okay, and when everything is uncertain, we don't know what's going to happen. So avoid swinging. It's going to cause a lot of anguish and mental instability for you guys if you do so. Okay, so let's move to see any questions that you guys have. I'm going to start doing the questions early today because I feel like those are take longer and they require a lot more attention. So let's do those. If you have questions, please post them right now. If you haven't already liked the stream, I would really appreciate if you did that. That really assists me. By the way, just before I continue to the questions, I just want to put it out there that I have now opened the wait list for the mentorship program, for the part 2 of the mentorship program. Okay. And this time it's going to start on the 11th of May, and so in a week exactly from now, and it's going to be exactly for 1 week. Okay. And if you want to see the results from the previous mentorship group, I recommend you go to my Instagram and check out some of the testimonials that some of the members who took this program. I had altogether about 12 of them who took this the last time, and they have been having spectacular results. I'm not saying that I did something magical. All I'm saying is, if you want personal guidance and you think that you need somebody to help you through this, trading world, and you need that personal one-on-one touch, just hit me up either in the DMs on Discord or on Instagram so we can discuss further. The course is going to be $197 for 1 week. You'll have guidance using paper trading. I will also give you private access to a WhatsApp group where you can reach out to me and the fellow mentees asking questions. Every meeting will be recorded. There will be 4 lessons that we will be doing together, which will include planning and executing trades. I'll give you my personal system, how I do it, risk management, and then also options trading. And then I'll also post all my plays in that WhatsApp group so that you have access to them and give you the reasonings behind them. Okay. So if you were looking for that, some personal touch, and you wanted something like that, please hit me up. I have about 15 slots left. I was starting with 20 and now I have 15. And it's going to be 4 lessons, as I said, group lessons also to stimulate learning. There will be homework, and then you'll have a deep dive into options trading with guidance, and payments will secure your spot. Okay. So I just wanted to give that a little shout out and see if you guys were interested. You can definitely hit me up and we can work something out. Okay. Awesome. So, yes, today is indeed going to be a great day. Thank you for saying that. I love the great vibes. Keep bringing all these good vibes to my channel. Good morning. Good morning. Zoom going up or down this week? Oh, don't know about Zoom. It's going to be a rough one for Zoom, right? We have the entire market. Also, another thing, remember, guys, if you know that the market has a bearish slant towards it, avoid betting against the market, right? It makes sense. If you are like a salmon that is trying to flow up a river, you know how salmon flow against the current. Don't be a salmon. Follow the river and be the bear that's at the bottom of the river catching the salmon. Don't be the salmon flowing up the river trying to fight the tide. It's not going to work in this environment. Okay. Follow the direction of the market. Don't fight it. All right. That's my biggest advice to you guys this week, at least, or well, in general. Okay. Zoom looks like it's looking bearish. If we can get unless we can get a break up with good volume, we're more than likely going to see an extension back down for this stock. There's a big gap to fill over here, and I think that gap, the Zoom might be doing that. It has done this in the past. Remember that. Look over here. It has done it. So very high chance that it can go from 160 to 110, within a 2 weeks. However, I don't expect it to come all the way down here. I think it may actually make a lower high. Very high chance that happens. So just keep watching Zoom. Do you buy airline puts? Absolutely not. I just mentioned this earlier. When we started the stream, I absolutely mentioned, do not buy puts on airlines. No good risk to reward ratio. If you don't have a good reward for the risk that you're putting down, absolutely do not buy airline puts. Good morning. I appreciate you coming live in the pre-market. I'm trying to buy month option for DXCM, blah, blah, blah. Okay, can you give me a... You're welcome for the pre-market live stream. I'm glad that you all are here. If you haven't liked the stream and you haven't subscribed, do that now. Thank you. Okay, let's look at this. DXCM. DXCM. This is Dexcom. Whoa, what was the strike that you said? Did you say 400 something? 490, bro, holy crap. Why did you buy it so out the money? What are you seeing in this that I'm not seeing? That's way too out the money, man. That's up here. I don't recommend that. No. I think that you need to sell your option and buy something closer to the money. And that expiry is not near enough to achieve that price level. Unless you're telling me this stock is going to go up by almost 40% or 30%. Is that what it is? No, that's a way too high estimate. I mean, I see it's been on a high trend, but remember, things can come down as well for a correction. Look, it has done that in the past. Okay, be careful. I don't recommend you swinging this call option. I think you should sell your option, and if you're planning to go for that strike, go for like end of the year, man. That's a far strike. I don't think you'll hit it, and you'll end up draining your premium. Theta is just gonna gilly-whack you. Thoughts on Disney and their earnings this week? Well, with none of their parks open and none of their stuff, doing anything, I expect them, to have a pretty bad earnings report. But as I said, these things are unpredictable. Disney might have uptick in their usage of Disney Plus since more people are home. There's a chance that happens as well. So you gotta take that into account. As I always mention, ERs are a coin flip. If your intention to come to this live stream is to ask me how an ER is going to do, my answer is always going to be the same. Take a coin out of your wallet and flip it. You'll get a better answer than me trying to figure it out. However, if you think that you want to do the fundamental analysis and you need guidance with the fundamental analysis, yeah, I can help you with that part. But I can't give you my outright opinion because ER at the end of the day is 50-50 flip. Should Facebook stay up this week? Well, with the entire market going down and Facebook making a big percentage weight of both the NASDAQ and SPY, I don't expect Facebook to stay at this level. No, I don't. I expect Facebook to sell off with the broader market. However, I do expect the market to have a slight retracement up before coming down. So if you're talking short term, like 1 day, 2 days, I think it might stay up. But I think by the end of this week, you will see the entire market sell off. That's just my guess. I'm not saying it's going to happen. All I'm saying is that's my guess. Should Baba go down with the tariffs? Absolutely. If Trump says that he's placing tariffs, then yep, it will absolutely be affected. Any Chinese stock will be affected. It's going to be a broad sell-off. They're just going to sell the news. What's up, Tushar? What's up, Warwick? How are you doing, man? Thank you for tuning in. Are we seeing a head and shoulders pattern on SPY? Are we? What time frame are you looking at it? It depends. There was a head and shoulders formation on a previous time frame, which was a 4-hour, but I don't see one now. There was one here, which was this head and shoulders formation. I think it was here, but then we ended up going down and we broke it. So, well, we could see a possible head and shoulders here, but that's provided we go like that. So I mean, it's gonna be a long shot, man. I don't know. We'll have to see how it turns out. I'm new. Where do you post the options call puts I be seeing on Instagram? This is an option swing, which is the community that I'm a part of and I'm an educator in. We post our trades in the channel here. In case you're not a part of option swing and you came here stumbling, trying to see how this works, this is how our chat works. We have a lot of chat rooms and we have professional traders that are making call outs every day. We have, Jim, who is a professional trader. We have Option Swing himself. We have Kevin Fomo, who's one of the veteran traders that we have. We have Mike Moss, and then members picks. So we give insights on how these go. And then we have an earnings analysis group as well, followed by a stock bot flow channel that tracks all the smart money flow for options, and then the educational channel that I'm spearheading. So that's kind of a summary of what it looks like, if that was what your question was. Thank you very much for liking. Appreciate that. Thoughts on wing puts? What is wing? Is that Wingstop? You know, I read something about Wingstop last week. I'm actually bullish on this company. But oh, but I see what you're saying though. Way overbought. Thoughts on wing puts? Yeah, you know what? It may be due for a pullback. Maybe. Let's look at it. Well, I don't see the case for a bearish scenario yet, and here's the problem. You have earnings coming up on 6th. I would wait for after the earnings to decide what you're going to do with the stock. I wouldn't even touch it right now. RSI is in the middle. You have, you know, it's been trending and following, using the 50 moving average as a support and really following it very closely. Volume has been increasing. There was a little bit of a drop of volume and it came right back up. I think that this stock is more bullish than bearish. I wouldn't touch it till after earnings to see how they do, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to beat earnings because people are going to be buying a lot more of those wings during the quarantine. I want to make put SPY. Which strike price do you think? 280. It really depends. As I was saying earlier, you're going to have to look at the Fibonacci retracements, and then it also depends on your expiry. So if you want to take 280, that seems probably a good strike, but you want to make sure that you take a far out option because, as I said, wait for the corrective wave up before you get into the put. You never buy puts on the bottom, you buy puts on the top. That's when the premium is the least expensive. You buy calls on the bottom, puts on the top. So that way your premium is always in your favor and the implied volatility is not that high for that specific contract. Thoughts on Apple? Bullish. I'm bullish on Apple. However, with the entire broader market, I think that expect Apple to sell off for the next week before reversing and coming back up. I think they had a very good earnings. I was very surprised that the service revenue covered the gap of the lack of iPhone and iPad sales. So that was a good thing. What's your thoughts on Netflix? Netflix. Let's cover Netflix. Look how it is. You can see that Netflix is in a down channel, right? It's been testing these two channel lines that I've drawn over here. We have, if we can have a break above, then it's going to go back up here. If we don't have a break here and we see consolidation, I think Netflix is going to be down, opening down below here because the market sold off. So we'll see another run to touch the 390 or 400 level. So I would say more probable that we hit the 390 level. That's what I see on Netflix. Also, you can see volume has been flowing out steadily. My on-balance volume indicator is showing the volume is flowing out. The moving averages are starting to consolidate and point to kind of average out flat. And we came off from this resistance down and we are on support and about to break support. So that's what I see for Netflix right now. Do you think options are the best for beginner traders compared to FX, futures, binary options? Actually, for beginner traders, none of the above are good for beginner traders. You should be relying on paper trading and trading stocks to understand the price action of how things move. If you are interested in doing that and you want to learn more, join the mentorship program. This is exactly what I teach, okay? I'm teaching people from the basics how to trade. How do you develop a system so that you don't fall into the pits and you don't lose your money right off the bat? This is exactly what I'm teaching. So sign up for the paper trading account. That is what is important, okay? You want to definitely hit me up on Instagram or hit me up on Discord if you are interested with the mentorship program, okay? Because I only have 15 slots and I'm sure that they are all going to be taken. So be fast. Okay, what about Visa? Let's look at Visa. Visa is ticker symbol V. Okay. Let's look at this. Visa is looking bullish to me. However, it might end up selling off a little bit. Well, it's actually looking nice. I don't know what the pre-market price is. It might be a little lower. But it's been making higher highs. And now it just recently broke out of this resistance and it came down to test the moving average. Recently, the 50 has been the 50 moving average has been consolidating over here with the 150 and 200, and now it's starting to see like a breakout pattern. I think Visa is bullish, and you might want to take it Actually, this is a great time to even play this. You can take it to the upside, set your stop loss down below here, 163. Well, not 163. Let's maybe say a little closer. Let's do a tight stop. So 167 looks about right. And you enter the trade at about 173, 167, 173. If you're interested to know how we do this planning on my option on the mentorship program, this is exactly how we do it. So we look at it. So okay, let's say you enter the trade here, right? And then from there you calculate your distance of your stop loss. And let's say you are willing to take that much of a stop loss at 168. You have a $7 risk here. So this is your 1R distance. 1R is $7, okay? And you want at least a 2R distance for your risk to reward. So you want a $14 upside, and a $14 upside from 175 would put you at 189, which is right here. And will Visa hit 189? Probably, but you're gonna have to choose a far expiry. So as far as planning that trade, that's how it goes. If you want to learn how to do this, join the mentorship program. This is exactly what I concentrate on. It's planning the trades, executing them, making sure your risk position is good, your risk to reward ratios are good, okay? These are all the things that we work on. And then also later on, we get into options trading and how do you mix options trading into all of that, okay? So Visa looks good for an upside, in my opinion. Okay, let's see. You're welcome. Thoughts on Boeing? I'm actually waiting to buy Boeing. More on Boeing on the next live stream when I actually enter the position, or look out for my buy on Boeing sometime this week. I will be entering some calls when the time is right. Thoughts on Clorox put credit spread 187.50 and 185. CL Clorox. See, what was the 180, 187.50 and 185? So you will only make money if it expires above it. 187.50 and 185. Wow, that's a very tight credit spread, man. Well, I mean, it could work, but remember, you need the price to be above this. If not, you're not gonna. If for some reason Clorox comes down and touches this support over here, then you're gonna lose your some of your capital, your collateral. So I would move it further down and try to get it cheaper, but you'll have a higher success rate. I mean, it's not a bad credit spread. I think you may be successful in executing this, but just be careful because I see the bearish formation here already. I see a couple of bearish candlesticks, and then there's a gap here that Clorox needs to fill. And if it continues to fill that gap down, then you can see OBV is pointing down, volume is flowing out of the stock. So it looks bearish to me. I wouldn't do this credit spread right now. I would in fact wait and then execute it on a later time for something below that instead. Okay, could you explain a Fibonacci retracement? Sure, definitely. Great questions. So, for example, you have, I'm just going to use SPY because this will be the easiest example to give you, okay? So, remember how when the stock market went apeshit and it sold off, right? Now, during this period of time, support and resistances do not mean anything, okay? You can't plot any support and resistance here when the market is dropping so fast. And once the market does drop so fast, how do you ascertain where it's going to go further up, right? So we use a Fibonacci retracement tool for that. When something moves down either very quickly in one direction and moves up in the other direction very quickly. Essentially what you use this tool as and how do you use it is you take a swing high, which is this point here, to a swing low, which is the bottom candlestick over here. And this gives you a natural law of number sets that things tend to follow. Now, many people ask me, what is Fibonacci retracement, or what is Fibonacci? Well, it is actually a number that is observed the most commonly in nature and in every man-made object. In fact, certain spirals or certain geometric shapes, they respect and obey Fibonacci numbers. And so you can say that so the 61.8 and the 1.618 are the golden ratio, which things often retract towards or find as a support. And you can see where I have drawn the retracement, where we found a reversal was exactly at the 61.8 over here. And so now we're starting to see a reversal down. So just to give you like a insight, that's what it is in the basic level. Okay, now how do you use it? That's up to you. You can observe those zones and treat them as a level of support and resistance, or you could just say, this is just a guidance for me to do my trades. Okay, so that's a basic idea of Fibonacci retracements. Okay, I'd like to join the mentorship program. Sure, hit me up on Instagram. As I said, there are about 15 spots left, and I'm already receiving messages on my phone right now. So hit me up on Instagram or hit me up on Discord if you're from Option Swing, and we can work it out and we'll get you on into the program. Okay. That my Instagram handle is Everyday Growth Advisor, yeah, with no S. So just message me on there. NEE 240 calls for 5:15. Damn, that's a very short expiry, but let's have a look at it. 5:15, that's next week, right? Yeah, that's next week. Okay, let's look at it. Wanna, own this stock and sell sell some calls or something. This is a good stock to gain some free premium. It does look bearish to me. The 50 moving average is just crossing, and your position is 240 calls, so you're in the money. No, you're not in the money anymore. You're now out the money. I'm wondering when you bought this. I'm guessing it's hurting now. I would cut the losses and move on. Cut the losses in the trade and move on. That's exactly what I was thinking for the Visa. Thanks for the assurance. Yeah, you're welcome, man. I'm glad that I could help. Is Shopify call for June safe? Shopify. Okay, now I actually did a fundamental analysis on Shopify just 2 days ago with my mentees on the mentorship program, and we actually came to a conclusion that this company sucks. It has a very, very bad balance sheet. In fact, the company has very little revenues to support its expenses, and so it has been making losses. However, the only benefit about this company is that it has very little debt. So from a fundamental standpoint, first of all, I think the valuation doesn't make sense. Now, you can also see Shopify has been failing to break this resistance up here from the 640 level. And it has started to make a low over here. It broke this support over here, and it's starting to show a downtrend. So we're going to have to wait for volume to flow out here. The main thing is that volume has still remained, over here. You can see the volume, the OBV, is still over here. So we need to see volume start to flow out, and we can start to short the stock instead. I wouldn't go for calls right now just because earnings is coming out on 6th, and I don't feel comfortable, doing a call position for this ticker right now. Okay, let's see. If you're okay trading scalping options, what expirations do you recommend? A general guidance for scalping and day trading, you could for options. If you are going to day trade for this week, so let's put it this way. Okay, I try to break it down for you. So if you are day trading within this week, okay, you can take on only Monday through Wednesday. You can trade the 5/8 contracts, the weekly contracts. Okay. Now after Wednesday, that means on Thursday and Friday, you cannot take the 5/8 contracts anymore. I don't recommend them. Okay, I think you would get a better Greek mix for the next week after Wednesday and Thursday. So for Thursday and Friday, you should look to trade the next week, in my opinion. This is just personal opinion. Many people are going to say that you can day trade the Friday expiry because it's cheaper and gives you a better risk to reward. But my answer to that is, what if something messes up on that Thursday and Friday? You do not have any time, and your theta, okay, your theta is going to be more than $1. If your contract is worth 150, guess what? By holding it overnight, it's now become 50 cents. By you doing nothing, absolutely did nothing, and you lost $1. Okay, so this is my advice. If you're trading after Wednesday, you're trading on Thursday and Friday, take the next week. Your theta is going to be much less. You'll have less drain. Make sure that you get out of that position by Friday. You don't want theta to drain you over the weekend for no reason. Okay, cool, thanks, you're welcome. What are the best penny stocks to buy right now? I do not trade penny stocks. I don't recommend you to trade penny stocks. Look at the market cap of companies to be above 10 billion. That is super important. Do not trade any companies that are less than $10 billion. They will be subject to manipulation, and I don't recommend it. Are you on Instagram as Everyday Growth Advisor? If so, I've sent a DM. Yes, that is exactly where you send me the DM for the mentorship program. Send me the DM on there, and then right after I get off the stream, when I get a little bit of time, I will jump on Instagram and I will answer, and then we can get you as part of the wait list. Anybody else who's interested, make sure that you send me a message on there, okay? Do you think NET would go back to $9? NET, that is the tanker company, right? That is the one, Nordic American Tankers, is that the one? Yeah, that's the one. This company, so it got bought up on news that people were storing oil on ocean tankers, right? The bad news is that volume has flowed out tremendously from, oh my goodness, 1,300%. Wow. And now it's at 100%. Half of the volume that got bought up has been sold now. See this? What did I say? Less than 10 billion market cap. It's less than even 1 billion. This is the reason why we do not trade companies with less than 10 billion. It's subject to be pumped and then dumped. Believe me, stay away from companies with less than 10 billion. Save yourself the money, save yourself the time, the effort. If you look at it and it says less than 10 billion, don't trade it. It's not a quality company. It can be manipulated. It got bought up and then it got dumped. And chances are that you will be left holding the bag. So don't do it. I do not think it will go back to $9, if that was the question. Thoughts on Tesla? Do you think the stock will go back up? Absolutely will go back up. Will it go back up soon? I do not know. It's going to be a very bumpy ride for Tesla. I think that it's going to go down further before it comes up. Now, the news is going to soon expect news about SEC investigating Tesla and yada yada. There will be more pain for this stock to come. There will be a couple of rallies up before coming down. I'm sticking away from Tesla. I do not like the amount of volatility that this stock brings. You cannot tell head or tails about where this stock is going. However, if Tesla does come down to $370, okay, or $360, I would be a buyer. Okay, I would definitely be a buyer. Alternatively, what I may do in the coming week is to sell some puts. Sell some puts for maybe 400 or 500, maybe around here. So because I don't mind owning Tesla at this price. Okay, so that would be one other way that I may be looking to engage with Tesla. But I will definitely not be buying calls for Tesla. Why don't you trade the first 30 minutes? Can't you take advantage of the volatility to get better entry and exit points? I usually wait the first 15 minutes for volume to settle down. The reason why I don't trade, I don't not trade the first 30 minutes. I don't trade the first 15 minutes. That's important for me because I want to make sure that I don't let, I let all the orders that have been placed in the queue to get out of the order system. There are people that place orders, and sometimes because of the large nature of those orders, volume and stuff like that, remember that when America opens, Europe closes. So by waiting that additional 30 minutes, you actually get to see the European close as well. And the London market is also, going to be having news about that time. So, that helps. Okay. All of the information that you receive will help you to make a decision. Juliet, 83 calls, 5-8 expiry. Got it on Friday before closing off the bell. Is it good to swing until tomorrow? My profit target is 82, but is there further upside? Juliet. This is a tough one. I mean, it could go up, it could go down. There's all kinds of news about this company. It's been trading in a crazy range. You have 5/8 expiry. That's this week. Wow. Every day your contract's going to be draining you. And you said 83 calls. 82 is the profit. Yeah, you mean it could. It could certainly go there. You're gonna have to hold it and hope and you know, pray to the biggest God that this, you know, turns around. I see volume still up high, and I still see it using the 150 moving average as a support. So I think there's a possibility that Juliet might go up here to test it. I think there is a possibility. The question is whether it does it this week, right? Whether it does it this week, that is the question. I think your expiry is a bit too soon. That's the only thing about this. But who knows? Maybe you may be right. Maybe it will be. You may hit your profit target. So I would hold on. I'm guessing that your position is going to be in a kind of a big loss because over the weekend you lost 2 days of theta. So I think if you're over a 50% loss, I would hold a position anyway. What time on a day is best to buy or sell for trading? Generally speaking, you want to trade within the first 1 hour of the market. That's when the most momentum and the most volume is. Right after about 2.5 hours into the market, momentum and volume is lost as people are kind of taking a breather, trades are selling down, people go for lunch in New York Stock Exchange, and then they come back, and then the last time that you want to trade is exactly 1 hour before the market closes. So 1 hour or 2 hours into the market and the last hour of the market. That's the 2 hours that you want to trade for day trading. Awesome. Well, if you just joined the stream and you heard everything that we just said, I would appreciate if you leave a like for me. That would really mean a lot to me. You know, feel free to drop a comment, maybe what you want to see in the future live streams. That's always nice to read. You know, or you could just maybe leave an emoji. That would work too. I really appreciate all of you guys being here. If you have any more questions, I'm gonna wait 1 more minute. See if you have any questions. If not, I'm gonna end the stream right here. All right, I don't see any questions, so I'm gonna go ahead and head out of here. I wish you guys a happy trading day. Wishing you all the best on this Monday. We will see you on Wednesday, and we will convene again on Everyday Growth Advisors, where we summarize everything for you and we learn, compound, and grow. Also, one last reminder, if you want to sign up for the mentorship program, make sure that you hit me up in the DM, Instagram, or Discord. It's still available. Some slots are there. And I will be available to talk to you about that. Thank you very much. Have a great day, guys. See ya.